Hey there, Eggheads. Juan Carlos Bagnell here. VR gaming has been slowly building momentum for a few years now, really since the commercial release of the Oculus Rift in 2016. And while VR has its fans, its advocates, it still hasn't really landed that big smash hit that's brought it into the mainstream. But that might change this year with the release of Half-Life Alyx. It's an exciting time, so let's dive right into the 5 things you need to know about what might be the first true AAA hit available exclusively in virtual reality. Number 1, Half-Life Alyx is coming out on March 23rd of this year, less than a month away as we record this video. This is hugely significant because this is a Half-Life game, after all, so having any definite release date after so many years waiting for more Half-Life is a really good feeling. The game is already up exclusively on Steam for pre-order, and it's unlikely to be available on other retail platforms because it's an in-house Valve title. Number 2, Half-Life Alyx is not Half-Life 3. HL3 not confirmed. And you don't play as Gordon Freeman. Alyx's story is a prequel set after the events of the original Half-Life, but before the events of Half-Life 2. Players will control Alyx Vance as she works alongside her father, Dr. Eli Vance, to fight back against the Combine forces who seek to subjugate humanity. The game will be set in City 17, the same location from Half-Life 2, and it will feature a few recognizable friends and foes. Along with Alyx and her father, players will encounter iconic enemies like headcrabs and barnacles. You'll probably have to throw away a soda can at some point, and they'll even cross paths with the enigmatic figure known as the G-Man. Number 3, Half-Life Alyx will be available exclusively in VR and exclusively on PC. Now, those facts might change at some point down the road. Maybe there could be some kind of orange box for next-gen consoles, but there are currently no publicly announced plans for Alyx to be playable outside of a PC-compatible VR headset. Valve has been a major player in PC VR since 2016. And with the new installment of their flagship franchise coming exclusively to virtual reality, they're providing what might be the strongest incentive yet for gamers to pick up a headset if they haven't already done that. And speaking of headsets, number 4, Half-Life Alyx will not be exclusive to Valve's Index headset and will instead be playable on all the major PC VR headsets, including Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and Windows mixed reality options. This is a consumer and VR-friendly move from Valve that will also help them sell more games, since they're appealing to a wider established customer base with all these headset options. It also means that if you want to play Half-Life Alyx, you can shop around for a headset that fits your preferences and budget. And we'll have a link to VR headset options on Newegg in the description down below this video. It's kind of what we do. And number 5, we should talk about system requirements. Aside from your VR headset, you'll need a VR-compatible system powered by at least a Core i5-7500 or Ryzen 5 1600 level processor, and a decently powerful graphics card somewhere around a GTX 1060 or RX 580 with 6 GB of VRAM. So if you've been waiting on upgrading your GPU for a while, Half-Life Alyx might be the game that motivates you to do it. Another thing that's important to note on the subject of minimum specs, Half-Life Alyx lists 12 GB of RAM as the minimum, which is a requirement we haven't seen often before, even with other VR titles. Fallout VR, for example, had a minimum RAM requirement of 8 gigs. It sounds like Valve wants to make sure people have the right hardware to run Alyx at a solid performance level, which makes sense for the first Half-Life game we've seen in a decade and a half. An underpowered system playing a traditional game might just lead to lag or poor performance. In VR, it can lead to stuttering that makes you physically sick. I have a lot of issues with motion sickness in these types of titles. So if you haven't upgraded your RAM in a while, visit that link down below this video, head to Newegg, and make sure you've got at least 12 gigs in your gaming PC. I'm honestly not too worried about the kinds of people who would watch our videos. Oh, but for your family and friends, make sure they've got 12 gigs at least too. And that covers the 5 things you should know about Half-Life Alyx. We'll have to wait and see if this game is the big breakout hit VR has been craving, but we'll start to get our answer when it releases in just a few weeks.